if the story wasn't weird enough, I just feel that it's time to actually tell people a little more defined part about why it's really weird. So originally, I was exposing connections between criminal organizations, Starnet, and the Piggy's Palace. And the thing is, I have irrefutable, very well defined, easy proof to show that not only were they doing this stuff, that the RCMP were crooked as fuck, and they were involved as well. And from what I can see, any attempts to expose this stuff were, stifled and slowed down and basically buried. And it was to the point where the RCMP were actually even trying to set me up with something. And how I found out was in 2013, I think it was. Anyway, in correlation with what was happening at the time, there was a pressure cooker bombers that the judge even said, oh, this was completely set up. It's complete bullshit. The RCMP manufactured it. And that's what they were trying to do to me. And I reached out to first of all, I called the RCMP. I said, look, this guy's talking about murders and stuff and giving me criminal things to do, and I'm not comfortable with it. Even though I had at the time I worked for the Hells Angels, I worked for Advanced Nutrients, I was in Forbes magazine for marijuana. Okay, but my opinion of what laws are and what is good and bad is not the same as theirs. I'm like, as long as you don't harm anyone, then you're not, in my opinion, breaking laws. My laws are God's laws, okay? Not man-made bullshit laws to keep people looped in circles of fear and bullshit. And here it is, anyway, that these RCMP are the biggest criminals in Canada. The political system, same thing. They're criminals. So you can look to the bike clubs and the gangs and stuff, and I will say those are much lower levels of criminals. The ones really running this country, they're the criminals. And here's the thing, they're all manufactured and maintained in the same ways, and I was proving it. They didn't like this. And so they began trying to set me up and attack me and so forth. And here's in which I called the RCMP, and I said, I got info on people that are probably terrorists talking about murders and all this stuff. So I reached out, and I have proof, and they know I do. And so everything I'm going to say right now, just so you know, I have proof, and there's nothing they can do to, come after me for what I can prove. They can go fuck themselves. And here's the problem. They won't fuck themselves. They'll fuck you. They are liars. They are cheats. They are pedophiles. And here's the thing. That's how they're maintaining all of this right now. So, someone was to go to these sites and expose themselves to some of the things. They know. They got proof. They utilize these things. That's what they're doing. Criminals are running criminals with criminal shit. Anyway, Picton's farm and stuff. If you go into reading what others have said many times, there wasn't just missing women. There was missing men, lots of them. And so people that would commit these criminal activities, they're thought of as disposable, but the women were thought of as disposable too. It's like in the amount of drugs and stuff they used, they didn't have any value for them. So what it looked like at the time was to me that there was an investigation of some kind. So maybe they were leaving, they were not taking Picton away for, he stabbed a prostitute, he stabbed a drug user, she stabbed him, and still got let go. Okay, so that allowed him to murder for many more years. But they didn't, he's dead, he's killed. They really wanted to silence everything. Even the police officer that was in the jail as undercover, they said inaudible. The audible part in which was inaudible was clear as fuck. I could hear him say it. I am a cop. Yeah, because he was trying to intimidate him when Picton said, well, there's at least 15 others that are going down. Yeah, 15 others that were bringing other guys up there to do stuff, and they killed some of them. So, not the people that were involved, but they were killing much more than just the women. Anyway, so I go to the RCMP with this info. They don't respond. I said, well, how is it that you're here to hassle me about having chickens and solar panels? But then I call you about terrorism and murders and proof and stuff, and you don't come. Oh, just come down to the station. Well, fuck that. I ain't going down to that fucking. They're the real problem in Canada for sure. Police are globally probably an issue. So I call the police. They don't do anything. I call CBC. I call CTV. I call every frickin' MLA MP in BC and Canada. I really did. I was down to the NDP office. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. Peter, I think it was. Yeah, Peter. Peter McKay. McKay, maybe. Anyway, doesn't matter. He was on Carnarvon, and I had a place in the building there, 888 Carnarvon. So I went to him. He said, "Well, the government's not got much control over there, or CMP." And I was like, "Yeah, well, maybe the mob does," but they did nothing. And so I just figured, I worked for a lot of criminals and stuff. They were ignoring me because of it, but that wasn't the case either. So then I had trying to get some things done to have access to my kid, and it's a weird activity there. I told the cop, I said, I didn't even think it was a cop. On the phone, I'm calling my ex, and apparently she called the police because I kept calling. Yeah, because I have a court order that says access on this day and this day, and she fucked with that shit all the time. And the man is, why isn't it the default that is best for a child to be with both parents, as it should be? And I fought and I won and I got that. And so then I'm trying to get the cop to enforce it. And no, she's not there to enforce it. She's there to insult me and lie and cause problems. And so then the following Monday, and here I've been in the hospital, a herniated disc and so forth. And so I had some issues. Well, these police show up in my place the next day, and they take me to the New West police station. I'm held there until Tuesday. When I get in front of the judge is like, "What the fuck?" She's shocked. And she has the police chief come down. I got this all documented, written out, everything. I even got the cell tapes. Here I am near death in there, and I mean, I'm not going to get into the details, but it got to a point where it progressed. And the police are coming around the cell and they're laughing. "Oh, you're going to be dead." Like, they're really joking around as if my life is just a joke. So the judge and everything, and all what they did, and the sergeant says to the judge, "Oh, well, we'll look into this and we'll get to the bottom of this. You're right, it's unacceptable." So unacceptable, yet it happened, and they did nothing. So I get before a judge in court, and the judge orders that the Crown and the police give me all the documents, and they don't. This is a judge order. I went around to at least 3 other lawyers. Salmond was one. She basically quit. She says, I can't take this. This is, you're trying to cause trouble. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to get a judge orders listened to. Anyway, completely crazy, endless bullshit. And then it slowed down a little bit, but there are some odd things. Like, I had a clean woman apply for a cleaning lady, and then there was issues. Her boyfriend punched me out, and I looked her up. She left her ID at my place, and I'm like, well, this is interesting. Well, I want to try to get a hold of her, get her ID back. And so I look to search her online. It turns out she's not only an escort, she is a porn star. I'm like, this is not quite right. Someone's not coming to clean your house when they make more money than you and doing what they do. But there was endless setups and entrapments and weird things. Now, here's a weirder one. Okay, so I move into this building, 1026 Queen, and the boyfriend and them are living in an apartment on another floor, not even a month later. And same weird bullshit. Okay? Gang stalking, harassment. And so I'm kind of excited because I bought some property out 70 Mile House area. And I think to myself, well, I'm going to escape this weird city drama. I'm getting out of here. So I go up to 70 Mile, and it's a little slow at first, but by 2021 it started up again, and there was an attempt on my life. And they use a drug called Devil's Breath. And this drug, well, I mean, you could say to someone on it, not me, but someone, you could say, like, kill your mom. And some people would. It's an awful drug, and they use it on people to mostly manipulate. There's like 50,000 cases in Colombia a year, and they use it to manipulate and steal mostly. But in my case, they were using it to entrap and set something up, which the guy there's 4 people that I know 100% were involved, and one of them was talking about what they did. He wanted more money, and the other one was told to kill him, and they did. So now he got him murdered. And what they did also was burn the house down. And they burned that house down to hide what they did, because in the video footage it was showing me being tortured and stuff, but it was showing backgrounds of a house. So for whatever reason, they burnt it down. So I called the RCMP and I'm like, I got information on this. This guy should be in jail right away. This is a murder. I got info. I know who it is. I know, exactly who every one of them is. And they do nothing. It took me publicly outing them and saying stuff about how incompetent they are and how corrupt they are. And corrupt is the optimal thing here. They are so easily to prove corrupt. I recorded every call to these fucking assholes, and it's all proof. Okay, so then another attempt on my life. Okay, and here we go with the Bacon brother being brought up to my house, and one of the guys that he works for, Gino Yardenoff, also a rapist of a 7-year-old girl. Okay, so I'm not trying to have anyone to be punished or anything, but here's the thing: why is it that the police are ignoring this guy? He's on parole. Jared Bacon was on parole, and he's been on parole a couple times. Up north, he was also on parole when he was almost charged with attempted murder. I mean, you can look it up. I think it was January 2025. Anyway, it's in the newspaper. Look it up. Anyway, you can see he's also a very organized criminal. Works for Gino Yardenoff. His brother's in jail for murder, and his other brother got killed with a club guy out in front of Kelowna. Because this is very serious. So then he's got a handgun, and he's got kilos of something, drugs, obviously, and he's overdosing to a point. Interesting, because I think he used the drugs that they wanted him to use with me to kill me. And he used them not knowing it, and then he almost killed himself. And the guy he was supposed to kill saved his life. That's what happened there, too. That's a weird one. I saved his life. He tried to kill me, and I saved his life. And that's how I roll anyway. Because I'm not here to punish anyone. I'm not here to do anything bad. Because I win my battles with truth and love. And I love even people that tried to hurt me and poison me and do bad stuff. I don't lose love. As a matter of fact, that's how Satan and everything wants it to play out. So bad people do bad things, and then the good people that respond with bad things too. And then everyone's a loser. And here's the thing, I'm never a loser. I'm always the winner here. Love wins. And people of God have to understand that the thing of forgiveness and everything to everyone else is the same. It's your strength. They think of it as a weakness. Well, they're confused. It's the opposite. Their weakness is their lies. Their weaknesses is all the things that I can prove. Okay? But I've been pretty quiet about everything. It's been like 2 years running to protect myself and keep myself safe. And the people that were even saving me turned out to be involved in this too. So it's tied to the Masons. It's tied to the most corrupt evil of this world. Definitely working for the prince, the air, the Satan. It's really, it's incredible. But here's where it's weirder. I could solve another murder. I can prove all the stuff very quick and easy. And here I am recording conversations. I got witnesses in the room to be there when I've made these calls. And they'll testify and they will say the same thing. I am calling the RCMP with info saying I can solve another murder for you too. These are bad people doing very bad things. Here's the thing, they've actually manipulated and they've got RCMP. James, here's the thing. These are people's names here, but off the top of my head here, Jim Brown. Okay, look up Jim Brown. He was involved with the Picton investigation. He was also at bondage events and stuff. I was asked to even throw, and they were. It was called The Other Side, and there's judges and shit at this event. So here's an RCMP member that was out at the Pictons and stuff. They were doing something what I thought was maybe an investigation, but it turns out it's most likely that they were having layers of police and politicians and everything doing very corrupt things that they could be used and manipulated with. So even Wally Opal was put in with the Pictons to investigate, and he said, don't bring the club up, don't bring this group up at all. Well, isn't it weird that he also had been to Piggy's Palace, which was across the street? And here's the thing, they really were recording stuff and distributing it online. And the criminals that they have are those criminals. So what kind of, is it bizarre? Okay, well, here's where it gets even more bizarre. I have evidence to all this stuff. I've reached out to every politician, every conservative, every liberal in Canada. I also emailed all the police within Canada, most, 4,000 police officers, and every RCMP email that I could get. Now, here's the thing. I don't just have proof of who clicked on it. I have proof of where they went, how long they were there, what they watched, where, everything. And so I have the email list as well. So, you can say what you want, but this is what I do. I am a marketing web guy for a long time. This is very easy stuff for me. What's also easy is for me to keep evidence which they're trying to hide. And guess what? You fucking idiots don't know how to get what I put away, and you'll never get it unless I give it to you. And this is what I've been trying to do, is provide good evidence to fighting your own corruption. And here's the thing, as long as the RCMP are running this, and they are, and the political parties, you got to think, I put out like maybe 70,000 emails. That's to all the Canadian media, most of the Republican Party in the United States, Donald Trump, the White House, the Canadian leadership, every media outlet. We're talking CTV, CBC, NBC, Fox News, all of them. Here's where it's really strange too. This is real easy to prove criminal activity, and I didn't get one email back. Not one. So what kind of evil powers are at work here, and who am I that they can't touch me? They've tried, and they can't. Yet they won't even talk to me. They won't give me a voice online. They won't give me a voice on the news. What is it that they're scared of? Well, here's the thing they're scared of. The truth. Bad people are scared of the truth. And I can deliver truth. Not only can I deliver truth, I can quite quickly and easily show things and activities that they don't want exposed. Anyway, I'm going to tell the full story, and this was just a small part because I'm really trying to root in the story with how odd this is. This is really showing that the system is so corrupt that the criminal activity is overlooked, and that they are behaving as criminals. And I'm a man of God, a man of love, a man of truth. I'm a servant of God and Jesus Christ and Holy Spirit. That's me. So I fight crime. Anyone that wants to help with the fight of the bad and criminal activity, here's the thing you do. Tell the truth. Spread the information. Get to politicians with emails and stuff. Get to media with emails and stuff. Show that they, make a case for them not doing anything. is to also show people that want something done. Because when they show that they can see that they're corrupt and there's inactivity where there's crimes are, that makes a difference. Love wins. Go to God, go to Jesus Christ and Holy Spirit. And I love you, and I even love the enemy. I hope you get healed, bad people. I hope you find a way to get healed.